So we are now going to do really basic scripting, nothing too special. First, let's get rid of this. This is just our player script. I would recommend, actually, you don't have to follow along just yet. I will give a little challenge at the end just so you can figure some things out. Okay, so we're going to learn you already learned the print statement, but we're going to go over that again. So the print statement, warn statement, go over variables, comments, and the if statement, which you'll see. So Lua itself, which is Roblox's programming language, it's very, very optimized, lightweight, super simple. Fucking an 8-year-old can learn it pretty easily. So this should work. You should be just fine. Because all of you who are on my team, whoever's watching this, should be able to understand this, right? You can always come back to these videos if you need refreshers. Don't ask me unless it's something super specific. Unless it's like something we're actually working on a project, don't ask me about the videos. Don't ask me about the videos, please. Because it's all in the video. There shouldn't be anything I really forgot. But yeah. So first off, you already know the print statement. You could just type in print parentheses. Roblox, its text editor or its script editor, whenever I press or make parentheses, like the left parenthesis, it makes both of them for me. And whenever I do the quotations, it makes both for me, and it puts my I guess I'll call it my cursor. I forgot what they're actually called. I'll put up on screen what they're actually called. But yeah, it makes the other half for you pretty much. So it also works with brackets, I'm pretty sure. And I think does it work with curly brackets. So there you go. Yeah. And that's the text editor. It'll make stuff easier for you. If I were to print statements, you already know what they do. Just debug stuff. I can say debug. I don't know. Let's just say debug. This is a test. And you already know the warn statement from the last video. I can say same exact thing, just warn instead of print. I can say debug. This is a warning. There we go. And I can press play, and we'll see in my output. Make sure you have your output enabled. If you forgot how to do that, go to view and press output right here. Next to asset manager, above script analysis. Should be pretty easy to find it. Okay, let's go back. Anyways, you can see that both these printed warnings print in orange. Basic ones print statements, print in gray. They will show you what the script is coming from, so player script, and then you can see player script. This should be line 3, this should be line 1 right there. 1, you can see, is this one right here. It's the first one. This is a test. You can see line 1 right here where my mouse is. This one, same with 3, right here where my mouse is. Very simple. Obviously, keep in mind, client side, server side. We're just going to do client side for now, because I don't think we'll ever, not ever. Well, we're going to do it eventually, but right now in this video, definitely not doing server scripts, not yet. Anyways, yeah, that's what those are. It's a little refresher for you. Okay, let's do variables. So if I were to say, I don't know, to make a variable, you can say, let's do like player name equals, you already know my name. I'll just name myself my username, but Kovar. Let's do, maybe they had some money. We can say money equals 1,000. I have 1,000 money. Very cool. And I can there's different types of variables. So this one is called a string variable. So these are text variables. I actually made a mistake here. I made a mistake. This is not supposed to be in quotations because it would make it a string variable. Strings is text. This is called a integer. Integers are basically numbers without decimals. So no decimal numbers, just flat out numbers. I can say coins instead. I can put 0.59, right? So technically I wouldn't put it like this, but just stay with me here. Maybe instead of that, let's just say money 1,000.59. Say we're doing USD, right? This would make it a float. A float or a double. Those are ones with decimals. The difference between them two are very not important. So just call it you could just call it a decimal to me. Like if you're talking to me about code, just say, oh, this decimal here, I'll understand what you're saying. You can also say float, you can also say double, I'll get what you're saying. But if you are saying this, say integer, not number. Number's too vague. Please make it easier for me. There's another type, let's say is alive. Are they alive? Yes, they are, true. This is called a Boolean variable. You can say, whenever you're talking to me about it, so like for this one, if you're talking to me about it, oh, for the is alive a Boolean, or for the is alive variable, it's true. So you could just say that to me. You could just say true or false for this variable, understand what you're saying. Boolean, same exact thing, right? I could say false, that means they're dead. Oh no. But for now, let's just say true. With the print statement, you can combine these two, and instead of the quotations, you're going to put the player name. Wow, look at that. And whenever I play it, my name will pop up. See? Very cool. And you can see where it prints, obviously, or where it's coming from and what line it's from. You can see my name right there. Very cool. So you can put variables into print statements. Oh, just a warning. Make sure you don't edit your scripts in here, because sometimes, I don't think it'll happen now, but sometimes when you press the stop button, or like whenever you're in like the play mode, whenever you edit something, it might not be there when you go back out of the play mode. So make sure you're not playing when you're scripting. Yeah, just make sure you're doing that. I can also print the money. I can also print is alive. So if I were to do this, you can see that all these are on separate lines, and they say, I'm Kovar, I have 1,000 money, and I can put true. So say this all looks right and nice, right? Only issue, this doesn't look right. Just having true here doesn't look good, and just having 1,000 here, this doesn't make sense. We want to say like, oh, money equals 1,000, or money is 1,000, or Mcover has this much money, right? So what you would do is, instead of, I could put the player name's fine. I could just, or actually, you know what? No, it doesn't look fine. Let's say, I don't know. Let's say, player name and then colon. I could put a space, and I could do ... That's called concatenation. That joins two things together, in print statements. You can also do this with other code stuff, but just print statements for now. Okay. If I press play, it should, there you go, player name Mcovar. You can see my name and it says player name. That's a lot more helpful than just Mcovar. That doesn't make sense, right? So this one makes it much easier. For this one though, let's do, actually no, actually we could just say, we can do, in quotations, we can say player has, or player money. We could do, and then ... We have to put, since this is not a string variable, this works right here because these are both strings. This is a string, this is a string, right? String, concatenate with a string. Two strings can join together, but this can't join together. It might be able to, but not proper way. This definitely can't join together. This wouldn't make sense at all. If I did like is player alive, like if I did player alive and then did that, it would make an error. So I'll show you that later, actually. But if I did this, it wouldn't work. So what we would do is we do toString, and inside these parentheses we put our money variable. And now if we play, boom, player money 1,000. Very cool, right? Very nice, very helpful. All right, so make sure to use toString when you're not concatenating string variables. Sometimes it'll allow you to not do that. I don't remember like the actual the code. I don't know like the actual specifics of it, but just do this because it looks professional, looks better, and it does work better. So please do that. But here, I'll show you an example of if you didn't do that. If I did is player alive, and I did the colon is player alive, right? And I did ... Oh, there's an error. So red means error. That's really bad. And that means that the script will stop working. If I did this, actually, if I did right here and I put it above these two, right? If I put the is alive thing, there's an error. And you can see that these other two ones, the player name and player money, they don't print because this script had an error and now it can't run because it doesn't want to break anything, right? So it completely stops and nothing else happens below it. If I were to put player name above it, this would run. But just keep that in mind, top to bottom. If there's an error, it'll stop everything and nothing below it will run. Okay, let's undo. You can undo with Control Z, redo with Control Y. You'll never really, you will use Control Y sometimes if you're, being fancy, but just do Control Z if you make a mistake, it's fine. So let's make this work. We could just put toString. We could put is alive, and we can add another one of that. There we go. See, is alive. Notice how there is a set of parentheses within this one as well, and read it like I don't know, read it as like a level. This is level 1. This is level 1 parenthesis right here, and this level 1 parenthesis on the very end here. Level 2 parenthesis right here. Level 2 parenthesis right here. If I were to put multiple and there's way too much, it wouldn't make sense. It would cause an error because there's too many parentheses, and now the code doesn't know what to do. So make sure you have the right amount of parentheses. If there's a mistake, by the way, it'll show you. It'll say, hey, wait a minute, there's way too many parentheses here. And it'll put little red squiggly lines below it. So, if there's red below it, that means it's pretty bad. So you should probably fix it. If it does run without it, miracle. Miracle. That's very special. Yeah, now if I did this and I ran it, boom, is player alive? Yes, they are alive. So, let's say we wanted to, is player alive? Who's alive? What if we didn't know who this was? What if that print statement wasn't there, right? Who's alive right now, right? Let's say is, and then we could do ... player name, and we could do another ... We could put another set of that, and we could do is player name, which is mkovar alive, and it'll put, sorry, I didn't mean to put that there. It'll put is alive. And if I run it, boom, is mkovar alive? Oh wait, I forgot a space there. Well, there you go. There's a little debug thing you have to work out. But it does say, is mkovar alive? Yes, they are alive. So I would have to put a space here. It would fix it. Just make sure you do that, because unless I put a space right here, then it wouldn't work. So just make sure to put spaces over here. Never put spaces in this. It wouldn't make sense. Don't do that. Just put spaces here instead, and it makes it look a lot cleaner. So yeah. Don't do that. You can see what the difference is. Very nice. Okay, so this doesn't look right. That doesn't look clear at all. Like if I looked at it, is mkovar alive? True. No, that doesn't sound right. We want it to say yes, or yes, they are alive, or something like that, right? So instead of just putting, it'd be really, how would you do that, right? How would you do that in here? You can't say, because we have to know the value first of it, and then we have to put it out. So what we do, use if statements. You see how this text is red? You can't put it in variables because it's called a keyword. Keywords cannot be used in variables. That's a mistake, actually. There is one keyword that can be used in variables, but we don't do it because it's still very bad. It can get very confusing very fast. So don't do that. Let's just keep it to true for now. But yeah, make sure your variables are very unique. The way I name things, by the way, before I get on with the if statement, you see how this one, the first one's lowercase and this one was name? If I'm in another variable and I put player name, I don't know, or player value rank or whatever, right? And I put equals king. You see how this one's lowercase and this one's uppercase for the next few words? That's called camel case. Make sure whenever you're writing variables that that everything's in camel case. Money doesn't have to be capitalized because it's just the first word, but if I put money and coins, I would never name it this, but just for example, this would be make sure and coins would be, it'd be capitalized, but money would never be capitalized, and I can just keep it as lowercase for now. That's camel case. Please use it. That's how everyone writes code. Not everyone, I should say everyone. Most people write code. So yeah, please use camel case. Back to the if statement. I can say you want to do the is alive thing, right? So I can do if is alive, then end, right? Okay, so if they're alive, then we want them to say we could just put print, and we can, instead of that, we can copy and paste this. We can do print, and instead of this one, we could just say is alive, yes. And that there we go. See, we could put is the player name, so mkovar alive, yes, they are alive. But what if they aren't alive? We want to say no, right? So do we do if? You could do if not is alive, or you could also say you could say if not is alive, then you could put no. You could say no, they're not alive. But this doesn't, like, this is too, I mean, you're taking up another 3 lines, if not 4, because of the little space here, right? So what we would do is we'd say let's go back one. We can say else. There we go. See that? And now I can say that was I didn't mean to do that, but that was Roblox's built-in AI. You can enable that if you want to. Only good for simple stuff, not good for large stuff. But obviously it knows what I wanted, so hey, that's very helpful. It typed it for me. So, but yeah. Anyways, else says if they're not alive. Like, so if is alive. What if they're not alive? So if not alive, then it's gonna say, oh, okay, what else do I do? So else statement, and it'll say no, they're not alive. So if I run it, oh, oops, sorry, 1 second, I forgot to get rid of this one. Boom. All right, player money, yep. And is mkovar alive? Yes, they are alive. Hooray! And if I changed it to false, right? Boom. No, they're not alive. See? If and else statements are going to be using a lot of these, so get used to them. There is some other statements, but for now we're just going to use if else, and that's it. So yeah, these are the ones we're going to be doing. One last thing. Say I didn't want to get rid of that, right? Like, say I didn't want to get rid of this one, right? And say I just wanted to, like, save it for later, but I didn't want to, like, delete it and then press Ctrl-Z a lot later. Maybe what if I forgot to press Ctrl-Z or something? Double dash, or they're technically called hyphens, but you can just call it dash. Double dash, no space needed, but I do space. These are called comments. So if I were to, let's get rid of the comments here, and I put here, prints out the player's current money. Put another player's current money. Nice. And this one says, actually, let's get rid of this one, just because. You could say, for this entire if statement, you can say, checks if the player is alive. If they are, then, or if they, that, or you could just say then prints, if they are or aren't. So these are comments. This is what I read when you're doing your code. Whoever's doing this. This is what I will read. Then I will read the code below it. This lets me know, okay, this is the general idea of it, and then I can fix it later if I need to, or we can work off each other, and yada, yada, yada. Very helpful for reading scripts. Please use comments. Do not just, don't just put no comments, because then I'm like, okay, this just looks like a bunch of nothing to me. This is literally nothing to me, because I don't have any comments. I can't read what the script is trying to do. Sometimes when we're doing scripts, at the very top, we'll say, you can put even more dashes if you want to, just to make it look a little fancy. You can say, this script is meant to store player info and print whether they're alive or not. Yeah, and you could put, like, I don't know, holds the player's name, money, and if they're alive. Yeah, very, very cool. Or, and if they're alive or not. Thank you, AI. Very cool. All right. Yeah, that's what comments are. You have learned you learned what variables are. You've learned what the different types of variables. So strings, doubles, which are these again, just for example, or floats, if you want to call them that. Integers, which are just flat out numbers, no decimals, and then booleans, which are, yeah, that's what they're just true or false. You learned print statements, you already learned it, but you also learned concatenation. You learned the toString function, which converts anything into a string variable. So when I say convert, it only converts it within the print statement. It doesn't, like, this won't become a string variable right here. Like, I could still call it somewhere else, and it'd be recognized as an integer variable. But yeah. One last thing, the challenge I was talking about for the end, I would rather, let's say you can, I don't know, make like a power level thing, right? So we can put here, I'll put it in comments actually for you. Write the player's name, write, or here, let's say, that's not right, sorry. Store the player's name, their level, and their power level, right? Just to see how strong they are. And you can say, print, I don't know, print all of these, to, in readable, print all these in readable, English format. So, you know, want to be able to read it, right? And also, make sure to, or also check if the player is under 100 power level. If they are, then say they are too weak. If they're over 100, then say they're very strong. All right. You can say if they're exactly 100, then say they're average. All right. So, by the way, just to let you know, I could say if just this is I'm helping you, but if money is, this is an example, if money is equal to 100, then print. All right, you're rich, yay. Equal is to check if something is equal to something. So if their power level is equal to 100, as an example, just trying to help you, then yeah, that's how equal works. But yeah, that's about it. Try to do this. Submit it to me if you're a part of my team. And I will double check your code. Make sure it looks nice. And is very readable. Make sure to use comments so I know what you're doing. You don't have to overly use comments, but you know, try to do them. Yeah, that's about it. All right. Thank you for listening and watching. I will do some other stuff in the next video, a little bit more complicated.